I'll be right back. What's up? Hello. I had to get something to drink. Do you guys drink these? Ollie Pops. This is my favorite. And what is the other flavor called? Fruit Loop, fruit something. What's up? Hey, Steph. We're going to talk about the solar eclipse, everybody. Say hi. My dog is here. You want to say hi? I think they can see you. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Everybody knows you're supporting them too. You guys, I've got this new stabilizer and I hope that I'm not going to lose you guys because this stabilizer is really fancy and every time I touch it, it's just so sensitive. So if at any point the camera starts falling, I'll be back. How's everyone doing? First of all, how's everybody doing? Do you guys feel the solar eclipse energy? It's like our initiation into this eclipse season that's coming in Aries, which is going to be in July. And wow. Yes, I do have the chart here. We're going to be talking about how long this particular solar eclipse energy is going to be. We're going to be talking about every single one of the rising sign and what you can expect and everything else you need to know. Okay, I'm going to be giving you guys straightforward predictions. All right, none of the fluff, like exactly what you're going to be working on between now and July, because that is when we are going to initiate the nodal change. And we're going to talk about why I think that you are going to be working on this particular solar eclipse energy specific stuff until July. I'm going to cover that. Yes, no sugarcoating. I love no sugarcoating in astrology because we get a lot of that now, you know? And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to just, we're going to dive into it. Let me just real quick pull up the solar eclipse chart because I've had a busy day. If you guys don't know, I teach cycling, like spin classes. And today I taught 2 classes. Okay. And I am fucking tired. I am so tired. Okay, so let's take a look. So first of all, I want to start out by saying right now we are in an eclipse sandwich, all right? And the flavor of this sandwich is going to be, let's say, barbecue. And not everybody likes a barbecue sandwich. It's like a weird and odd combo, and that's pretty much what is happening right now, okay? We're having an eclipse sandwich because this sandwich right here is having a crossover. We're finishing up the nodes in Scorpio and Taurus, and we have now begun a new eclipse season. So what is happening is that the degree at which this particular solar eclipse is unfolding, which is at 29, it is very important, okay? And I'm going to tell you why it is important. Let me just get the chart straightened out. All right, so first and foremost, here's our eclipse, okay? You see that little sandwich of Aries happening? The solar eclipse at 29, Jupiter is there, Chiron is there. All right. The first thing I want to talk about is what is Aries? If you're new to astrology, Aries is the pioneer, the first sign. Aries initiates spring. Aries is pure thought, okay? A sign and an energy that does not like to hold on to grudges, that loves to pioneer, a sign that loves competition and loves challenge, an energy that has to do with Mars, because Mars rules over this particular sign. Aries is war energy. Aries is also competition, challenges that you're willing to take on because you are willing to prove to yourself that you're going to be first. So Aries energy is a very soldier-like, warlike type of energy, okay? It's a fighter energy. Aries is also on the other side of the pendulum, because every single energy comes with two sides. We always have polarity. The other side of Aries is jealousy, doubt, not being able to apologize for something, okay? Not being able to admit to yourself that you're sorry for something. Aries is probably, in my opinion, you can fight me in the comments if you want to, but Aries is the less likely sign to apologize out of all the zodiac signs. That's my experience. I find that the Aries energy loves to move on and doesn't want to hang out in the past. And this is the reason why oftentimes it is really hard to just get an apology out if there's something that is wrong. Okay? I know I experience that. Whenever I have anything in Aries transiting my houses, there is that area of my house, I'm less likely to apologize to people if stuff goes down in that area of my chart. This is true for everybody, okay? It's not just like it's only true for Aries people, okay? Don't come for me after in the comments, because it's everybody's got every sign in their chart, okay? We got to move out of this idea that we're only one sign, you know? Right now, like on social media, we see like people regurgitating all the time just one thing about one sign, and then people just separate everything inside of their head. Like your entire chart is made of 12 signs. Okay, so you want to see where Aries is in your chart based on your rising sign. That's going to be the most accurate picture. That's right. It's the whole chart. It's the whole damn thing. We're made up of 12 signs. We're going to have more emphasis on one area of the chart depending on where, the planets are at, whatever, but if you're new to astrology, it's not just like, you're not just one sign. You're like all 12. It depends. Your relationship house might be ruled by Aries, which is what my sign is. That's the way that my concentration is. So you want to take a look at where Aries is in your chart. So everything I just mentioned, that is exactly where that Aries energy is going to unfold. Now, what this solar eclipse is doing is it's initiating a new season. All right. This new season starts July. And it's going to be an 18-month transit, because every time the nodes go into the different signs, okay, they come in pairs. You're going to have this transit unfold for 18 months. Currently, the North and the South node, which is basically the storyline. Okay, the North and the South nodes are invisible points in the sky. And just think of it this way. All right, we could talk about it forever, but basically the nodes are the storyline, okay? The themes, the major themes that are unfolding. And these are the types of themes that we are going to be, working through. Right now, we have been under the story of Taurus and Scorpio. Taurus is in the North node, Scorpio is in the South node. What are we working on? We are working on value and living life fully. Taurus lives life fully. Taurus likes strategy. Taurus is methodical, okay? I tried to say methodology and strategy in the same word, in the same sentence, which is so funny. What is Scorpio? Scorpio is trust. Scorpio is boundary crossing, manipulation, power, Your intention. What's your intention? You know, that's what Scorpio is. And by the way, at the end of all of this, if you guys have any questions at all about your chart, any questions like personal questions, I'm going to hang out a little bit and I'm going to answer any questions that you have. So if you want to hang out with me, you can afterwards, because I'll stay live and answer questions. So right now, the solar eclipse, this energy, the solar eclipse energy, okay, it's a big energy. It supercharges the consciousness, okay? This is the way I view it. It's my experience, okay? Every time we have an eclipse, it's a big event. When we have a lunar eclipse, it usually cuts something out. When we have a solar eclipse, it adds something to our life. But this particular solar eclipse comes with a very special energy. And that is, it comes with Jupiter, okay? And it comes with Chiron attached to it. What's Jupiter? Jupiter, anything it touches, it expands it. It's wisdom. It's also a sense of judging your life from a different perspective, okay? Because you have more knowledge, you have more wisdom. Chiron is a planet that shows us stuff we have to work on because it's a sensitive area. It's a trigger point. It's something we're trying to take a look at, or we are reacting to something. It could be related to pain. It could be related to some kind of a story, trauma. It depends, right, on what sign it's in. Now, all of these planets I just mentioned are in Aries, okay? So right now, this particular solar eclipse, it is expanding a new identity, because most people right now, even though they may not be conscious about, whether you're conscious of it or not, whether you're in astrology or not, we're going through a period where we're building a new personality, a new identity, a new goal. At the very basic level, this is a new goal. Some of these goals are going to come in voluntarily, okay, because of the events that are going to be happening. So the ruler of this solar eclipse is Mars. Where's Mars? Mars is in Cancer. So this is interesting because Mars in Cancer, it's not a very good placement. Mars in Cancer, I covered this in another live. Mars in Cancer is moody. It's complicated. It's complex. It's the person that has spiritual pride. It's the person that feels like their spirituality is above yours. It is a time where our emotions go up in energy and dip back down. And it's like that cardinal water energy, okay? Emotions come in and then they go back out. What is also very important to note here is that Cancer signifies our upbringing. Habitual patterns that have been ingrained from the time that we were younger, depending on what happened in our home life, okay? So fights right now are coming out of a space where, because Mars signifies fighting, okay? Mars signifies the way in which we assert ourselves, aggression, even, our sex drive. Mars right here is coming from a very emotional place. It's very touchy, it's very sensitive, it's a little triggering, okay? So this solar eclipse not only comes with the ruler being in a place where it is touchy, it's sensitive, but it's also at 29 degrees. 29 degrees, it's the last degree of any sign, okay? It starts at 0, it goes all the way up to 29. It's the last stage of that degree, which makes the degree even more intense, which makes whatever is happening in the sky, if anything is at 29, it makes it more intense. What kind of intensity? Pressure. We have to develop under pressure. And this particular pressure is going to last into the summer. Why? This initiation of pressure on our own identity, us evolving and expanding who we are right now, the pressure is on, okay? Because we are trying to cut out the past. We're trying to let something go from the past, which is what the Taurus North and South Node is going to be helping us, that no longer holds value. That was either abusive, that was either at some level like causing too much attachment and misery, and it doesn't allow for us to up level. This is something we're going to be working out between now and July. And what is happening at the same time is that we now have to step into a new version, a new identity, a new person that we are. We have to claim a different kind of spot in our life. Whether that is mental space, whether that's your heart space, you are going to be claiming a different version of yourself. Whether you are aware of this or not, some of this stuff is going to start to unfold as time moves on, okay? At 29, there is an immense amount of pressure to grow. And this pressure sometimes comes from external stuff, okay? 29 deals a lot with not only yourself, but it also deals with like stuff that is happening outside of you, not just internally, okay? But it's also stuff that's unfolding like in real time in your life, because it is the highest degree, so it involves you and another person. How do you deal with 29? Okay, when pressure occurs at 29 in Aries, this could be like dealing with situations where we have to fully take responsibility for what is happening. Okay, that's not going to be easy under this particular solar eclipse between now and July. The reason why this is not going to be easy is because Mars, we have to pay attention to the ruler of this particular solar eclipse. Until the nodes change, Mars is going to leave Cancer and then move into Leo, where we will have to, okay, we will have to work on our own leadership, leading us, really stepping into a creative expression, developing our creative expression, developing the things where we feel some sense of pride, okay, which is what the Mars and Leo placement is going to be all about, without being too egotistical. Right now, we're just working out the emotions of stuff that's happening, especially in relationships. And then when Mars moves into Leo, we are going to be working out ego stuff, feeling like we have to step into a fuller version of taking action, pursuing things, or how we assert ourselves. And then when the nodes change, Mars is going to be in Virgo, where we have to become a little bit more detail oriented. So anything that you're working on right now is going to come with an immense amount of pressure, and it's going to come with some fate, okay? Fated events. 29 signals not only pressure, but the pressure comes from external fated events, stuff that you will not have control over, stuff that is going to be unfolding that you now have to step up in your life at some form of shape, depending on where this particular eclipse is unfolding in your chart. It's a lot, okay? I just don't want to sugarcoat what's happening right now, because the astrology right now is pretty layered. There's a lot of layers that we're working on, and the signs that we're working on are not easy. And during this time, we're also working on a new phase, which is Pluto in Aquarius, giving us a little bit of a taste of what's to come, where we not only have to change who we are, but we now have to change the focus on attachments and reattachments, okay? Which is what Pluto in Aquarius is going to be all about. Now, this is a growth period. These are new ideas that you will have to work on. These are new thoughts that you will have to adopt. These are ways in which you will have to pioneer in your life, whether that's in relationships, your lifestyle, whether that's your career, wherever this solar eclipse is unfolding, and we're going to go through all of the 12 signs, you're going to have to develop yourself. You're going to have to pioneer. Nobody is going to be able to kind of tell you how to do it because nobody has traveled this road before. In Aries, we're taking a look at an energy that's new. It's an energy that has not been traveled yet. Aries is the pioneer. It goes there first before anybody else. And that is what you need to keep in mind. With 29, the only way, and this is how the ancients used to talk about the 29th degree as well, the only way to deal with 29 is to become incredibly compassionate with yourself no matter what is happening. That is going to be your key. You have to become so compassionate with everything that you are doing right now. And that's going to be hard because when we take a look at Aries at 29, the number one thing that Aries at 29 could do to take yourself out of growing, out of pioneering, out of stepping fully into a new version of yourself, whether you have thought about it or not, whether it's coming through an unexpected situation or not, the thing that could hold you back from that is doubt. Because the lower consciousness, the polar opposite of the pioneer of Aries is doubt. Always remember that, okay? When we think of Aries, we think of that Martian energy, we think of the soldier energy, we think of like this energy where it's pure thought, the inspiration comes through, we take action. But there's also doubt that comes with Aries. Because when Aries doesn't take action, it has doubt. And then therefore it doesn't take action, and then it can become a petty energy. You want to watch out for that. It can become a jealous energy. You're going to see that. Okay, I don't want to sugarcoat it. You're going to see a lot of competitive energy. You're going to see a lot of jealousy, okay? Actions that are being taken out of jealousy that one may not be able to verbalize because Mars is moving through that Cancer energy. Once Mars goes into Leo, it's going to be straight up competition at that point. But personally, you right now, because of where Chiron is at as well, and Jupiter signaling with the solar eclipse, it is a growth period. It is a period where you can truly overcome. You can overcome the obstacles you may have at this time. But you have to pay attention and work with the astrology. It's not just any obstacle. It is obstacles in that Aries-driven house in your chart. That's where you have to pay attention. There's stuff there. If you take a look at your chart, okay, I'm going to give you examples. I am a Libra Rising. So that means that my 7th house is ruled by the Aries energy. This solar eclipse is unfolding in my 7th house. I, right now, have to relearn how to fully assert myself in certain relationships. It's not just marriage. It doesn't have to be just marriage, okay? I have to learn how to really assert myself because this is an area that I need to strengthen because of my past, where Mars was at, my past, my upbringing. There was many times where I had to not say anything, okay? It was the way that I was brought up. Don't say anything because if you do, then you're going to get into trouble. Even though I had a lot of opinions and they were right for my situation. This is like bringing up for me personally. I'm giving you this as an example so you can kind of just have food for thought here with your own chart. This is bringing up for me like, wow, I'm actually coming across new situations in my life where I'm getting this opportunity to assert myself and to just reestablish a new person. Something wants to express here, okay? With Aries, you are expressing, you're moving forward, you're not wanting to hold on to the past, but right now that Mars in Cancer is reminding us of our past. It's reminding us of our upbringing. It is reminding us of like these times where, we were passive aggressive, or we couldn't take action maybe because of our upbringing. Sometimes it has to do with cultural stuff. Sometimes it has to do with trauma, okay? The Cancer energy can bring up a lot here. It has to do with how we were nurtured, how we were not nurtured. It's also, you know, mothers, sisters, aunts. It's that kind of family dynamic that could play a role here, or in general family dynamics. All right. So you want to pay attention to these, you know, types of themes, because when we get into the nodal change, when the nodes are changing in July, and I believe it is going to be July 17th. Let me just look this up real quick, because I want to make sure I'm giving you the right dates. Let's go forward. Two more days. Let's see. Of course, my screen is stuck now. Hold on. Yep, it's July 17th. So this is truly the initiation right now into working under pressure. It's not maybe the greatest news for some people out there that, you know, treat astrology a little bit more fluffy. But if we don't sugarcoat it, this is going to be pressure. This is where you're going to have to learn how to turn aggression into being assertive, because being assertive is different than aggression. This is so important. And then you have to learn how to ground it by not coming from a too overly emotional place that is passive aggressive. If you're into growing, if you're into developing yourself, if you're not into developing yourself, you are going to come across these themes. You're going to run into situations where stuff's going to trigger easily. Or if you're into gaining awareness and developing yourself, learning right now, this is going to be key. Learning how to not come from an overly emotional place, and then learning how to take action where you feel proud of yourself when Mars moves into Leo. And then also not being too egotistical when that is happening. Okay? Staying grounded, staying true to your heart. Only taking action that is true to your heart. Versus taking action because you just want the glorification of something, which we're seeing, okay? We're gonna see a lot of people kind of lose their shit a little bit here and there. And then when Mars comes into Virgo, this is when we're going to start to work out the details of everything we have experienced so far. And then it's really, truly going to be a new time, because when the nodes are switching into, you know, Aries and Libra, we're going to be focusing a lot on me and you and us together, right? It's the relationship dynamic. It's me and the relationships. That is going to be the new sort of situation that we're going to dive into. Let me just pause here and see if anybody has questions. Hey, everybody who's joining the chat. Hello. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to go through each and every one of the signs. And I am going to give you straightforward predictions of what to focus on, okay, between now and July. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love hearing that. Libra Rising in the house. I'm a Libra Rising too. Do you know your degree? You're from Maryland. Welcome, welcome. Are you an astrologer? Do you practice astrology? 1 degree. Ooh. From West Palm Beach. Hi. You know, I am in Florida too. Capricorn Rising, finally, Capricorn Rising, truly on the rise. You guys have been going through some stuff. But it's going to be, this year is definitely going to be so much better for Capricorn Rising. All right, you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, yes, for real. Just for friends and family. That's always fun. You know, that's how I started out too. For years, I was just like so afraid to come out of the closet as an astrologer. But you might not, you know, I'm not saying that. It's just really great that you're able to, you know, read for your friends and for your family, which is so much fun to do. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the rising signs and what you are going to be working on. Okay, so Aries Rising. Obviously, this is going to be unfolding in your first house. This is a reset in you and your dreams, okay? When I say dreams, I'm talking about this is the rise of you working on doing something so new with your life. It is going to take courage, okay, to fulfill on your dreams. And this is going to be a little bit easier for you this time because the courage train is here. All you have to do is to start envisioning stuff because you're going to move into it easier during this cycle. Over the next year and a half, you have the chance to make anything you want come true. If you're an Aries rising, this is like, what do you want? Right now, you are working out the details of that dream. You're working out the visions of that dream, or at least you're getting the opportunity and the possibility of this new dream, these new goals, these new desires that will put you into a new conversation of how people are going to view you. It could be quite literally a change in your identity or an evolution or a development in your identity. So if people were viewing you one way this entire time, they all knew you for that one thing that you were doing. Now you have the opportunity to rewrite the story. This is a rewriting with your story, but at 29, the pressure is on you. And you have to work on really understanding how to lessen that pressure at times when doubt creeps in over the next 2 months especially, okay? This is going to be really, really key. Right now, it is a time of fulfilling on the things that you desire the most that make you come alive. It's not so much even about happiness. Happiness will be an end result of it all. But if it makes you come alive, this is a time right now for you to just keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward and keep that dream, that vision, the things that you're trying to really work on, really push through, even stuff that you're trying to have a breakthrough in, keep those things right in front of you because this time, no matter what is happening, you can really accomplish a lot. So really great energy for that. All right, let's move on to Taurus and Taurus Rising. Hold on one second. I got to go back to resetting my chart. Okay, Taurus Rising. This stuff is unfolding in your 12th house. This is a change in spirituality. Okay? This is God consciousness. This is spirituality. This is like you redefining the meaning of your life. Because many of you right now have been working on a lot of unexpected stuff, a lot of things that you could have not imagined that were going to change in your life. They've changed. And now you are getting this kind of window to catch up to the change with redefining the meaning of things in your life. And it has to do with your spirituality. It has to do with a new identity in the stuff that you are believing in based on what has happened. 29 is a very karmic degree. What does that mean? It means fated events. It means pressure with fated events. There could be stuff that is still going to unfold here, but it really is about you getting the opportunity to not give up on anything right now. This is the whole key for you guys, is to not give up on anything right now. Okay, so that includes yourself, that includes your faith, that includes your spirituality, that includes you living your life the way that you want to design it. Because with Aries, there is a sense of designing, your life, because you're pioneering, you're moving forward in a new direction. That's new thoughts, new ideas, stuff that's very fresh, like it's innovative at some level. And so you get this opportunity right now to not give up on anything. So whatever feels like it's a lot of pressure, it's new, you may feel like you can't deal with the change, those types of things might come up, because the 12th house can bring up sort of the past in a sense, but it's deeper. It is fated events. The 12th house is God consciousness. So whatever is coming up right now, try to ease into it and not give up on anything you set out to do, anything you're working on, anything that you want to kind of really bring more of in your life, and the changes that are happening, including the changes. Do not give up on anything. Between now and July, everything is going to work out how it needs to. You keep moving forward. You keep believing in the stuff that you are now believing strongly in based on what has happened in the past. Now, some relationship changes are going to continue to happen with that, and you will know who is going to be standing with you at the end of it. Okay, because there could be some stuff that you still need to work out in relationship dynamics, but it's going to become easier after July. All right, that is what I'm seeing from many of the Tauruses. Moving to Gemini, this is happening in your social reputation house. This is happening with friends and groups, like-minded people. This also has to do with technology and innovation with technology. You might, just be a part of a network of people where there is new innovation. You're part of something new. And this is an opportunity for you to realize that the person that you are right now and the person that you're continuing to develop into when it comes to your social reputation, when it comes to your friends, is enough. More than enough. When you are done with this particular solar eclipse, this segment of the solar eclipse energy, when you get into July, you will have realized that who you are has been enough all along. And just by you realizing that, because there's some deep ties into a part of you feeling like you are not good enough, or you're not enough. You're not showing up enough, or you're not doing enough, or you're not bringing enough to the table, something like this. By you realizing that that was a false thing, is going to bring and open up a lot of new connections that will be incredible moving forward. But you have to sort of move out of your own way, okay? This is going to be really important. You have to move out of your own way. The other thing that I do want to bring up here is that probably about a month from now, many of you are going to come into a situation where you will have to assert yourself with other people. This is going to be key. You have to assert yourself. You cannot back down. There is going to be a situation here that is going to come up with particular people that are challenging you, that will be challenging you. They already have probably started challenging you. You may already know what I'm talking about. But it has to do with your friends. It has to do with the groups of, friends or networks that you're part of, people, like larger groups of people that you're part of. There's challenges that will come with that. And the challenge is for you to assert yourself. The challenge is for you to finally speak up, to do it from a place where you know what's true for you. You got to come from that place. And that is going to be an opportunity for you to even see in that moment that you are enough. Okay? There's going to be some valuable insights from that situation that will come out of it. All right. Moving into Cancer Rising. Cancer Rising, this is going to happen in your career house, or it's happening in your career house. This is a new start with your career. This has to do a lot with you opening up to new ideas around your career. This is going to be really important, okay? Career and the kind of career that you want, the kind of work that you want, the kind of work environment you want. What is coming though is that whatever is happening in your career right now is going to bring immense amount of pressure because it's a new situation, it's a new phase. You have to maybe pay attention to metrics more. You have to maybe pay attention to some kind of timelines more. You may be getting this promotion and you never realize that there's like immense amount of pressure now because you didn't expect it to feel this way. You didn't expect for you to have to handle more right now. It's a new situation, a new environment, a new everything. So know exactly the ins and outs of your responsibilities right now because 29 has a lot to do with responsibility. And it doesn't matter how much organization the situation needs, just start. That's Aries. Just start it. Nothing that you are dealing with over the next 2 months is going to be not figure outable, if that is a word. I just made that up. Is that a word? Somebody let me know. I've been in the United States for like almost 20 years and I still can't speak English, you guys. You don't even know. You have no idea the stuff that I mispronounce every single day. Okay, so nothing you can't handle. You just got to start. You got to do one thing at a time, and every day just do the best that you can, and you are going to figure things out. This is going to be so key over the next 2 months. This kind of mindset, this kind of conversation with yourself, okay? There is some amazing opportunities that are going to come up. Only one will make you come alive. And that one opportunity that makes you come alive, that is your sign. Go for it. Okay, go for it. If there's an offer or an opportunity or even some kind of promotion that comes up and you are like, yes, there's a lot of work, but I still don't feel like, when you know, you know. When you come alive, you know. Because the Aries energy is inspire. The Aries energy is like, I know I come alive when I'm doing this thing, and that is going to be your sign. Hey, everybody. If you're new in the chat, we're covering the solar eclipse. You can go back to kind of know a little bit more about what exactly we're covering. We're going through all of the signs. We just finished up with Leo, and now we are going to be talking about, with Cancer, now we're going to talk about Leo. Okay, if you're hearing barking in the background, that's my dog. Hold on 1 second. Butters, come here. Come over here. Okay, so Leo rising. This is happening in your 9th house. The 9th house is the house of the bigger picture, okay? The bigger picture, the bigger consciousness, the higher mind. This includes philosophy, it includes education, it can also involve like, different ideas that are not from what you are used to, different cultures, different mindsets, opening up your mind to completely new ideas. Except, there is some particular thing right now that I feel for many of you that is going to come out of this particular transit that we're in, okay? And that is, there is a certain mindset or a certain idea or a certain thing that you've been trying to reach but you are going, I know it's going to sound weird, it's going to make sense a little bit later, but you're going to realize that this was maybe a delusion. Okay, it was sold as something that was real and it wasn't. And because this thing that was sold as real and it wasn't, this is going to open up your mind to doing your own thing. I know, like, it may seem a little bit weird because the 9th house is like a house of opening up your mind because something, you know, of value comes from a different kind of mindset or a different kind of learning, but you're going to be learning from yourself because it's Aries. And so there is going to be this moment where you're going to be like, wow, you know, all this time I thought if I learned this one thing, it was going to bring this other magic into my life or this other excitement. And then you're starting to realize that was not true. You are the person that you need to learn from at this time. You are the person that is going to learn as you expand your life, your points of views. You might even want to get up and go somewhere that is going to bring you a lot of value, a lot of education, and a lot of knowledge. Sometimes this comes through learning from another person. Okay, that could occur, that could happen, but just know that right now it is totally normal to kind of see the world from a point of view where you are going to be playing a much bigger role in it than somebody else or somebody else's idea. So this is going to be key, okay? A new learning, a new direction that you're going to take on, but it is going to come through this realization that there was nothing to obtain from this particular area you've been focusing on that you thought would bring a lot of value into your life. Instead, other ways of viewing your life, other ways of learning, other ways of absorbing information is going to come through, and you're going to figure it out. The steps are going to be revealed to you over the next 2 months. I know that was a lot. I hope it made sense. You guys let me know. Okay, moving on to Virgo Rising. Virgo Rising, interesting energy right now. Okay, this is going to be unfolding in your 8th house. The 8th house is our psyche. The 8th house is our commitments. It is the attachments that you have to other people. Perhaps when I say other people, I'm talking about like the attachments that you have to the people that you either share intimacy with, that you share some kind of, you know, money with. This can oftentimes be a deeply loyal place in our chart. Like you have a sense of loyalty towards someone, you have a sense of trust towards someone, or it could just deal with those types of themes. Right now, it is about success. It's about power and it's about success for you guys. But this success has to do with you moving into a new definition of success. And what is in the way right now with 29 is you yourself. You are in the way. You are not believing fully that you could move into this new definition of success because it actually requires for you to hold a different kind of mentality. You have to think about your life differently, and you have to detach from things that are not good for you. This includes past pain. This includes past stories that you're attached to, where people have maybe mistreated you, where people have maybe, you know, broken trust, broken loyalty. Those things right now need to get worked out, and they are going to be quite worked out in a way where it's going to get worked out fast. Sometimes this house can also bring up barriers that need to get acknowledged. Okay, so these barriers are going to get acknowledged. These barriers are going to, right now, it's almost like a squeezing, okay? They're going to get squeezed. So just know that whatever is happening at this time, the only limit to your success is your own damn imagination. What you are letting into your space. the 8th house has a lot to do with super boundaries. And you have to identify where you let boundaries loose. And then it doesn't let you hold this space that you're trying to move into, to redefine success and what it means to have money, to redefine power, okay? Not power over someone, but feeling empowered, okay? Feeling like you can trust your life, you can trust your money, you can trust this other person, you can really open up to share resources. These are the types of things, okay? New area that you are working out and you're going to continue to work out. But right now, there is some pressure here. And that pressure has to do with you developing yourself to trust in a new way. Super important. Okay, Libra Rising. Do we still have anybody Libra Rising in the chat? This is happening in your 7th house. Okay. Here's what I want you to know. Relationships are going to be intense. Any kind of relationship. Bonds that you have to somebody else. The 7th house can bring up relationship dynamics. Sometimes, in my experience, it brings up relationship dynamics even in the day-to-day with strangers that match the energy of somebody that we had an experience with. It's a really interesting thing. Here, you are to assert yourself in relationships in a new way. And the way in which you assert yourself, okay, is to identify where, okay, make a list of all of the things that you're proud of that fulfill you. Because that's going to help you to stand your ground in this house. If you are working on agreements with someone, or if there's new agreements that are coming through, like legal agreements or some kind of like agreement, like paperwork that has to get signed, you have to make sure that at the end of the day, this is something that you can sustain. Okay, it's about sustainability here as well. I know it sounds really weird what I'm saying right now, but because of the Uranus dynamic in Taurus, you have to think about sustainability. Is this something you're going to be able to commit to for a longer period of time? Okay. You got to look at this every single time. When you think that you're failing, you have to take a look at this list that you're proud of, the things that fulfill you, the things that make you happy. And if this is a sustainable thing for you, every single time you think that you're failing, because relationship dynamics are going to bring this. They're going to mirror this right now. They're going to show you right now what it is that you need to speak up about, where you need to assert yourself, where you need to just show that you have changed, that people can't really cross your boundaries in this kind of a way anymore. Okay? Super important time. Lots of pressure, but it is going to help you to liberate yourself. And that is what's going to come out of this, okay? All right. Scorpio Rising. Okay. This is happening in your 6th house, which is lifestyle. All right? Lifestyle house. A lot of new lifestyle changes are going to occur. Things are expanding in a way anyway right now where you are handling a lot more when it comes to your lifestyle, new things that you're handling, new kind of ways in which you also feel, you know, more alive, that support you when it comes to health, when it comes to the way in which you're living from the moment you wake up until you go to bed. The 6th house can oftentimes have to do with that. It can also have to do with just orienting yourself, right? Like organization, the way in which you define efficiency. But now with this energy here, there's immense amount of pressure to become aware of what you need to update in your life when it comes to your lifestyle choices, when it comes to your health. The reason for that is because stuff right now is a little bit like it needs an update, it needs an upgrade, and it's not easy to deal with this because you have to become aware of things that are not making you feel passionate. Because what's the opposite of passion in this Aries, energy? That is what you are to become aware of. Okay? If it doesn't make you feel passionate, it's gotta go. And right now, there's a lot of new passion and new passionate things that you can attract. You can really be a magnet for that. You can change things around in your lifestyle. You can pick up that new routine. You can do things in a way where it makes you come alive, but you got to clean house a little bit. That is what you're getting the opportunity to do so right now, okay? All right, so moving on to Sagittarius Rising. Okay, this has to do with the 5th house. 5th house is the house of fulfillment. It's the house of the heart, okay? Here, for many of you, this is about becoming bold. This is about becoming powerful. This is about bringing the magic back into your life. Honestly, it is going to happen anyway because the Aries energy brings fresh energy here. It can also have to do with children. So right now, you guys are going to be focusing on your heart a lot and the things that make you feel like this is what you're vibing with. This is what you absolutely love. Having fun again in your life, but it comes with a boldness. So you could be picking up something new that feels like a really good challenge. It could also be like a competitive sport or something. You could be picking that up too because it's Aries energy, right? In the 5th house, like you could be picking up some new sport, some new goals, some new timelines even with this new like physical thing that you're doing. So right here, it's a time of becoming bold under pressure. That is what basically this entire solar eclipse energy is going to be about. And it could also involve, things that have to do with your kids, okay? Sometimes it can have to do with your kids as well. Now, if you don't have kids, it has to do with you. Okay, so moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, this is happening in your 4th house. Whew. Okay, so new energy finally coming into home and family. Okay, or the definition of what makes you feel at home again. It can be also just internal work. For you guys, it's almost like you've waited a long time for giving yourself permission to feel like you can live your life again. So this is going to bring you a recharge. This is recharging your life in a way where you will come alive with family dynamics, with your upbringing. You'll be able to put something into the past. This is super, super important, okay? And during this time, any family dynamics, any new fresh start in family and home, do not require any more permission. You just go for it, okay? You go for it, you make it happen, you show it, you do it. This is going to be so important, all right? Some kind of new time is happening when it comes to home and family that require for you to have the courage to dedicate to a new definition, because things have been and continue to be so karmic and so fated. This is going to be a time where you have to have the courage to dedicate towards a new definition of home and family. And it's not the easiest in the 4th house. I just had like a really long Pluto transit in the 4th house. And the 4th house tends to change us at such a deep level because it confronts us with the closest thing, home and family is close to our heart. So right now, you got to give yourself permission to feel whatever you need to feel, and whatever comes up right now, go take action on that, because it is going to be important because it's going to help you to, at some level, release, which is going to be really, really good. It's like a liberating energy, okay? Let me just... I'm going to come back to it. The fourth house is heavy. It is heavy. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry about your brother passing. My prayers are with you. I'm so sorry. That's not easy. So, yeah. So for you guys, at some level, there is some relief that is coming this year. Things are going to become easier. But it does require right now for a fresh start when it comes to your home and family definition, okay? You're welcome. Okay, so Aquarius Rising. This is happening in your third house. Wow. Talk about a new mindset change. Mindset is shifting, communication is shifting, and you just getting busier with like projects. It could also be like you doing stuff on social media. Honestly, every single time I see a transit through the third house, people are busy typing text messages, okay? People are busy writing emails, working on projects like webinars, working on, things where it has to do with like social media at some level, because you're doing stuff like with your hands in this house, but you're also using your mindset or communication or creative thoughts and ideas. So this is a new fresh start here, okay? Now, there is something here that is going to renew, and that has to do with someone or something that you have put up onto a pedestal in the past. You've put this thing up onto a pedestal. You've looked up to this person. You've looked up to this particular type of mindset, or even like a mindset coach or something like that. You're learning how to push past this particular aspect in your life with Aries at 29 in the third house, because your mindset has already unfolded so much. You have learned so much from this situation, it looks like, for many of you. For some of you, this is going to resonate a lot, okay? For some of you, this is still unfolding. You are going to learn right now how to push past some of these mindset ideas or beliefs that you had adopted with this particular person that you put up onto a pedestal, and you're learning through creative outlets right now how to push past this. So there's moments here that are going to be a little bit bizarre that will come up, because it's going to remind you of a version of yourself that you can't, like, a part of you is like, I can't even believe that I was like that in the past. And those moments are going to be really important to embrace and to take note of. That life sometimes has this tendency where somebody is so powerful on our mindset, and how do you protect yourself? How do you move forward from that in a way where you know now what the key aspects are to pay attention to? Super important. Also, just new ideas, new innovative ways in which you might handle your business. Okay. Sometimes the third house has to do with like communicating, exchanging, trading, business. Okay. Of any kind. And so you are going to be bringing in new ideas, new ways of how to do it, and new like ways which nobody else has done before, which is going to be really cool to kind of discover over the next, not only over the next 2 months, but even beyond. Pisces Rising, this is happening in your money house, which, new starts with money, new ways of trusting, yourself with how to make money. This is going to be a great start, okay? For many of you, this has to do with an immense amount of pressure to create sort of new ways in which you have to show up to create money for yourself, and new opportunities that will come with that, which is going to be really key here. You will have to work through some of the pressure of, doing things brand new, or doing things that pushes you out of your comfort zone. But it is, a time where you can bring more abundance into your life as far as productivity, as far as finances, or you could be all of a sudden getting this opportunity to focus financially on a new outcome, which it's all about finishing it. For you guys, it's going to be all about finishing this, okay? Pushing through all the way to the end, which is going to be the focus and the key over the next, 2 years or so. Okay, Steph says, I've got my Aries Jupiter at 29 there too. I will get back to that in just a moment, okay? So for Pisces, you are getting this opportunity to bring some kind of a vision alive with money, with productivity, and you're going to get this opportunity to take a look at what you need to do in order to finish it. Okay. All right. So yeah, that Jupiter at 29. So right now, this is going to be a time for you, Steph, where you will really gain a lot. This is like growth period at a larger level for you. Because obviously with Jupiter at Aries at 29, this is going to be a really good time for you to reset your life and just go bigger. Everything with Jupiter is just about going bigger and bolder and just having the courage to bring a part of yourself out that had not been there before, that had not gotten the opportunity. What do you do for work? If you're still in the chat, let me know what you do for work. You're definitely in a process of that leap. Yes. I'd also imagine that